Do you ever feel like everyone copies each other on Etsy? Like all the designs just look the same? The truth is, they do. And that's why the average Etsy seller isn't very successful. The average seller does one of two things. They either simply copy designs that are already selling well on Etsy, and when we say copy, most of the time they make a small tweak. They aren't intentionally copying or stealing a design. They'll change a color or a font or add a subtle element like a little heart, so it's not exactly a copy, but basically it's just the same thing. Or they try to be unique and create something completely new. And that something new is not at all what the customer wants. So they don't buy. But how do the top sellers continuously win on Etsy? How do they stay ahead of the trends and end up creating the listings that others want to copy? Is it just luck? Did they just start selling on Etsy at the right time? We're here to tell you that it's not luck. And in this video, we'll show you how to create winning ideas for your print on demand designs, time and time again, like clockwork.
We're Lauren and Connor, and we've done over $3 million in sales on Etsy. In fact, we did over $1 million just last year alone. Here's our real 1099 tax form from Etsy to prove it. And we only share that to give you proof, not to boast or brag in any way, but simply to say we think you should listen to us about Etsy, and here's why.
This video is broken into three parts. In part one, we'll share why we're so confident in our design process. Then in part two, we'll talk about that process and share the 7 steps we follow each time we create designs. And then finally, in part three, if you stick around until the end, we'll zoom in on step two of that process and share a framework we've never shared publicly before.
So, why are we so confident in our design process? When we first started working together in our Etsy business, we needed to create a process that we could both follow that would give similar results. Meaning, if I designed something, it needed to be just as good as if Lauren designed something. It's important to note that we don't have graphic design backgrounds. We're just self taught, like most successful Etsy print on demand sellers. When we got married in 2023 and decided to join our Etsy business together, we knew that if we worked together, we had a huge advantage compared to most sellers because we were two people and it worked. That spring, we launched tumblers in our shop, and within the first 90 days of posting a new listing, we had done over $60,000 in sales. Fast forward to later that year, and we did our first back to back $100,000 months. Our process was working, and it was repeatable. We were seeing sales right away when we added new listings and finding success following our process across different product types. It first worked with t shirts, then again with Christmas ornaments, and then again with tumblers. We knew we had cracked the code. So in 2024, we hired our first virtual assistant from the Philippines. At first, he helped us with order fulfillment to free up our time so that we could focus on what we did best, which was to create more designs and publish more listings. We did over $215,000 in just 30 days during Q4 in 2024, shortly after hiring our first team member. Things were really working. And eventually we realized that if we could also teach our team members how to follow the same process and basically multiply ourselves, then we could continue to grow even faster. Up until that point, our process was a little less formal. Lauren and I knew our process ourselves because we both had thousands of reps at that point. So it came somewhat natural to us. But then we started to think about teaching someone else how to do this, someone who had no design experience and no reps. We would be paying them to help create designs and listings for us, and we didn't want it to be a waste of time or the quality of our listings to suffer. So that's where our 7 step design process was born. It's the exact process we've been following all along, just formalized in a way that someone brand new with no experience could follow and find success. And it works. We knew it worked because we'd done it ourselves. So in 2025, our team started to help us create designs, publish listings, and launch products. Today, they execute full product launches for us, and they do so very successfully. And they've been a huge reason why we were able to do over $1 million in sales just last year alone. Here's our stats from one of our shops this June, which used to be one of our slowest months. Our teams spent a lot of their time this year creating new listings in that shop. And again, it's worked. We also thought, well, people still might not believe us. They'll probably think they had successful shops already, so they have an advantage, and this probably won't work for me. So we decided to open a new shop last summer as an experiment. Our team has done everything in that shop. They've created the designs, they've published the listings, They've fulfilled the orders, they've handled the customer service, literally everything. And it hasn't been the main focus for our business. It's been a side project, really just as an experiment, to prove that really anyone can do this, that anyone can find success selling print on demand products on Etsy, even if you're just starting a brand new shop today. That shop has sold over 1,000 units across 700 orders in the first 12 months and about $40,000 in revenue. We're confident if we had spent more time on that new shop, we'd have done over $100,000 in the first 12 months. But again, it was never our main focus. The majority of our time and our team's time has gone to growing our other shops because those shops still have lots to grow. And yeah, they grow faster because they've been around for a bit. Again, that new shop was built as an experiment to prove to everyone that it's possible as part of our 0 to 100K challenge series on YouTube. And while we didn't get to $100,000 in the first 12 months, that shop is well on its way to hitting six figures and may even get there before the end of this year. But that's not the point. The point is that this process works, and it's not just us. If you've watched any of that challenge series, you may remember we gave away a free year of one on one coaching. The winner of that giveaway was a married couple named Lisa and Steve. When we started working together, Lisa and Steve opened a brand new Etsy shop. And within just 4 weeks, they had done their first $1,000 in sales. And within 12 weeks, had done over $7,000 when you include the shipping revenue they collected. If you want to do this for real, we want to help. We are looking to work with other serious Etsy sellers like Lisa and Steve, who are willing to work hard, take feedback, and follow the process that we teach. If that's you, you can apply to work with us one on one below.
So now we'll give a high-level overview of our 7-step design process. This video won't be a deep dive on each step, but we're going to deep dive into step 2 and part 3. So here's what the 7-step design process looks like. Step 1 is to identify the niche you'll be designing for. Step 2 is to go to Etsy.com in incognito mode browser and search as if you were a customer. This is where you start to do your design research, and we'll talk more about that in part 3. In step 3, you identify the main value point, or what we call the MVP. This is basically what is most valuable to your customer and what your design must include. Step 4 is to identify any design styles that are currently overused. If everyone's doing the same thing, we don't want to be just like the average seller that just does the same thing again. We likely won't find success doing that, and it's not fun to copy anyway. In step 5, we'll identify the underused design styles and elements. But to know what's underused, we have to know what's successfully been used in other niches in our product category. This is where our vision board process comes into play, and it's too detailed to cover in this video. In step 6, we take everything we've just learned from our research and we generate our design idea. We don't just go right to a blank canvas though. We write out what our design will look like in a detailed way, as if it were a prompt that you were going to give to an AI to help you generate the final design. And sometimes we'll utilize AI for parts of the design, but getting super clear on the prompt or the design description gives us clarity when we're ready to design. So there's no feeling of design block or that struggle of not knowing what to design. The idea is already done. When we get into Canva or wherever you like to design, we're just executing at that point, and actually creating the design is the quickest part of the process. That's step 7. Step 7 is where we finally create the final design and bring the idea to life. So again, this is just meant to be a high-level overview of the process. We could deep dive into each step, and we do for our team and the sellers we work with, but that would take many hours.
So let's deep dive into step 2. Step 2 is where we start our research. And it's in this step where we follow our 3-ring market research framework. Up to this point, we haven't shared this publicly. It's been reserved for our team and the people in our paid coaching programs. The 3-ring market research framework looks something like this. Imagine a series of 3 concentric rings. In the center is the niche you're working on. Let's say you're working on a school counselor tote bag. We would start by going to Etsy.com in incognito mode and searching for that school counselor tote bag. And we would begin to follow steps 3 through 5 of our 7-step process. But we wouldn't just do one search for a school counselor tote bag. We would begin to do a series of searches. And with each new search, we will open a new incognito mode window. This just ensures that our results are not tailored due to our past search history. These series of searches give us a holistic view of the overall market. and quickly allow us to spot gaps in the market, identify opportunities, and generate new ideas. The next set of searches we do are within what we call parallel markets. This is the first ring. Parallel markets are similar markets within the same product category. So, for example, we may also do searches for teacher tote bag or principal tote bag. By looking at these parallel markets, we can gain insights into what's happening in the school related markets, but still within our same product category. We may spot an idea from the principal tote bag market that's doing great. Maybe it's a certain design style or layout that's doing well, but maybe it isn't being done specifically for school counselor tote bags. We can use that successful principal tote bag idea as inspiration for our new design. But we don't stop here. Next, we do another series of searches. We call these the adjacent markets, which is the second ring. Adjacent markets are similar markets within different product categories. So we may do a search for a school counselor t shirt. Looking at the t shirt market gives us a different perspective. We're likely going to see designs that are drastically different than what we saw in our very first search when we just looked at school counselor tote bags. Now, as you move outward to each ring, the designs you use as inspiration do not transfer one to one. It's not always apples to apples, meaning you likely can't just take a t shirt design and move it to a tote bag. The print area between your products is likely different, the styles and standard layouts are different, and the product you're designing on may have certain printing limitations that don't exist on the referenced product. So you can absolutely take inspiration, but it likely will require you to reformat the ideas in a way that makes sense for your product. This is where having a deep understanding of your product is critical, and where our vision board process comes into play. Again, we're not covering that in this video today. We then move to the final ring. We call this ring the broader markets ring. This is where we go up market and we do searches for things like school counselor gifts. This is a very broad search, and you likely will see many different products. You may see some tote bags or none at all. And again, as you move outward from your product and market, the ideas or inspiration is less apples to apples. You may see a great design idea being used on a candle or a journal, and it may spark an idea for your new design on a tote bag, but you can't just take that exact same design that works for the candle or the journal and put it on a tote bag. You likely won't find success doing that, and that would be copying anyway. You'll have to reformat the design in the correct way, how it wants to look on a tote bag. And again, that's where the deep understanding of your design attributes for your product is super important. After working our way through the three rings, we then go back to our 7-step process. At this point, we have ideas. And we're ready to go to step 6 and step 7, where we'll write out what our design will look like, and then go make that design come to life.
We hope that our 3 ring market research framework changes the way you do research. It's proven to work and will work for you too if you do the work. We're going to link a couple videos on the next screen. The first video is for new Etsy sellers. If you have a new shop or you're just struggling to find any real success, go watch the first video. We share our full Etsy business plan and show you exactly what you need to do to get to your first $1,000 month on Etsy.
The second video is for sellers who have had some success, who have done $1,000 in sales before in a single month or more. The second video will show you exactly how to scale your shop to consistent $10,000 to $30,000 plus months. And it's likely the opposite of what you're doing right now. Both videos will be linked below in the description too. And if you're interested in working one-on-one with us, there's also a link to a doc below. Give it a read, and if it seems like a good fit, you can apply. Thanks for watching.